Okay, we're rolling.
It's Pras from the Fugees.
You guys have a wild schedule, right?
Very wild.
Oh wow, man! You folks are totally popular here in Holland. You're playing in a couple of festivals now here, right?
Yeah, we're doing the Drum Festival and a couple other festivals around Europe.
I had rumors you're playing with George Clinton tonight. Is that correct?
Yeah, we are playing with George Clinton tonight.
Oh, how's that?
It's cool. I played with him before.
You played with him before?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! How'd you guys meet up?
We first met up in Miami, then we did a couple shows together.
Whoa! That's a wild combination. Live on stage. How does it work out?
It's cool, his live band with my live band.
You've been around in the hip hop scene for a long while. You've seen things coming up. You like the hip hop style as it is now, because you guys are changing it definitely.
Yeah, we trying to take it to the next level. There's no boundaries to this hip hop game.
Your album, it sounds so live. How do you do that? How do you get that sound on stage, and how do you get it in the studio? Been a lot of work.
It's just diversity. We grew up listening to a lot of different music, so it's real diverse. Lauren was soul. I grew up to listen to reggae and rock. Clef and I from the church also. So it's just diverse.
I read your bio and it says that you were involved in high school hip hop scene already. Did you experience those the hip hop meetings where people try to how do you say it, show off to each other?
Oh yeah, that's what hip hop's about. Everybody trying to show their skills and who's better than the other one. That's what hip hop is about.
Still?
Yeah, but indirectly. It's still like that, but not directly. It's more indirectly.
Do you think it has become less violent, hip hop nowadays?
I think it's getting less violent with groups like, the Fugees, De La Souls, and other groups to come, because we're not about the violence, so I think it's getting less violence.
Are you a religious man?
No, I'm a spiritual man. I don't believe in religion.
Because, there's a lot of, strong lyrics in your album.
Yeah, but that's spiritual. It's not religious, I might quote, or we might quote something from the Bible, but we're spiritual people. I just don't believe in being, catered to one particular following. I believe in spirituality. People just do religion or follow religion because, they probably was brought up to do that, but they don't really understand what the religion is all about. I'm spiritual, which means that, I go by vibes, I don't need a book to tell me what's morally right and what's morally wrong. Every man has a conscience, and you know when you're morally wrong and morally right.
Have you ever played a third world country? Because you got a Haitian vibe going on your record as well.
Not yet, but this year we're gonna be playing, the quote unquote third world countries, like probably Haiti, Jamaica,
You ever consider going to South Africa?
Matter of fact, we just was asked to come to South Africa. We're going to Africa probably in December. Well, two places, South Africa and West Africa. The Prince of West Africa asked us to come and play in his town, so we're gonna go there and probably go to South Africa right after that.
Wow. What do you expect of that?
I don't know, it's gonna be interesting, that's supposed to be, the motherland of my people, so I'm definitely interested in going to see what it's all about.
What do you think? Are you prepared for a shock? Because, there's a lot of poverty going on there in West Africa, a lot of violence already soon as well.
I'm not prepared for that. It's stereotype. It's just like when I was growing up in America, I was brought to believe that the Germans were like the worst people in the world. But when I came to Germany, it was nothing like that, So it's just a stereotype. The media portrays the land how they want you to see it, You gotta go see it for yourself.
What do you think of the way soft drugs are free in Holland?
Well, it doesn't really mean anything to me because I don't smoke neither one of those things. So I'm not one of those people that you should ask a question to because I don't really care about that type of stuff.
You're not into using drugs, or?
No, I don't drink or smoke, me personally.
You lived in New Jersey, right?
I live in Brooklyn, New Jersey.
Is it a violent part of town where you live?
See, like I said, the media portray it a certain way, I go to Harlem to get my hair done. Lauren goes to Harlem to get her hair done. I'm from Brooklyn. I live in Newark now, which is considered like the worst part of New Jersey, but I don't see it. I mean, I walk around the streets, no one bothers me. It's, everywhere got violence in it, but it's just that, sometimes, like I said, the media, once again, pick a certain part of the ghetto and just exploit it and just make it bigger than what it is.
You guys got your own studio now?
Yeah, we got our own studio we built.
It took you pretty long, right?
Yeah, between my cousin and us, every money we made, we dipped it right back in the studio to expand on it.
You're in it back now?
Am I in the bed?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I'm in the bed. I'm doing this interview right now in the bed.
Do you rent your studio to other musicians as well? Or is it just for the Fugees?
No, it's other people. Other people came down and used our studio, so it's for us and the public. But Fuji got first priority over it.
You've been in Amsterdam for 5 days now. What do you think of it?
It's cool, but I miss home. It's nothing like home, but it's cool. It got its own vibe. I've been out. I checked out the party scene.
Did you check out the jungle scene, which is pretty popular now?
I've been hearing about it, but we don't get that kind of music. See, where we from, music can't go that fast. That was like the disco era for us, This hip hop is what's, really big in America. That's like the number one for music in America. So it's like, I heard about it, but I never really got a chance to sit down and examine jungle.
You had a Sly and Robbie remix on your album. How did you get that?
Well, we West Indian, Sly and Robbie heard of the Fugees, and he said he was a Fuji fan, and, we hooked up with him to do the remix, which was real fly,
You guys been doing this music for a couple of years now. Wasn't it hard for you guys in the start? Because, what you guys do to hip-hop is another thing. You take it to another level. A lot of people wouldn't understand it in the start, I guess.
Well, Fuji didn't just pop up on the scene. Most people in the mass media, like the majority of people, would think Fuji just came out. But we've been together doing music for 8 years. So it's like, that's why the vibe is like that. It's the chemistry that we've been building for almost a decade, It's just now people hearing about it, So we definitely not new jacks on that scene.
You've been working on new material already?
As a matter of fact, we just worked on this new song for the next album, But we be working on ideas for different stuff,
So what's it going to be like? Is it going to be more live music?
It's going to be, you see the way the first album came out, and then we took the second album, the score, to the next level. We're going to try and take this third album to the next level.
What do you think of other hip-hop live crossovers, like, what do you say? Like what the Beastie Boys do now?
They doing their thing. They represent hip-hop the way they know how to, you know what I'm saying? That's them, I'm not really mad at them, That's their translation of hip-hop to them, I don't really sit down and listen to it. I used to be a Beastie Boys fan before they went and did, Right now, to me, Beastie Boys like a rock group, which is nothing wrong with it, But I liked it a couple years before that, like Paul Revere or, them other hits that they had.
What other bands do you like?
Biggie, Method Man, Snoop. Yeah, That's the Facts is cool. A lot of groups. Fugees. That's my number one group right there. These dope ass dudes, man, and this lady, man, from the United States. They got that single Fuji La, you know what I'm saying?
I heard they were pretty lazy.
Nah, that's not what I heard.
A lot of people think that hip hop acts are hard to get in touch with, to get interviews with, or to get on stage, for instance. Because they tried to get NWA over here a couple of years ago, they never succeeded. They tried to do interviews with loads of bands, nobody succeeded. Why is that, you think?
I don't know, but you see Fugees, they call us to come over here. We left our other tour, the United States, to come here and represent for the people. I'm not really making no money over here. In the United States, I'm making $25,000 a night,
No way.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
I'm the number one group in America. That's how I do that. I sold 3 million records in the United States. And after I leave Europe, I'm going to go on tour with Alliance One Set. So I'm be making about 50,000 or more a night, So it's like, but because the record was taking off over here, we had to come here. We didn't have to, but we felt like, you know, because we do our music for the people, you know,
Hmm.
and we came here. Like like right now, I'm doing an interview in my bed.
This is the best life, being a musician, hip hop crew.
Well, you know, I mean, ever since I got here, I've been here for like since Sunday.
Hmm.
I've been doing interviews from Sunday to now.
Oh,
Yesterday, Lauren was sick, so me and Clef alone, each of us did 12 interviews. You know, it's hard, man. It's just crazy hard. But you know, it's part of the job.
hmm. What'd you do with the money? Start your own label?
Well, I didn't start my label with my money, but I invest my money. You know, you put your money away. You know, that's what we do with our money, and we try to, you know, do like we're doing a charity fundraising concerts when we get back home for the kids who won't have no money
Wow.
to come see, you know, a Fugees or a Tribe Called Quest. You know what I'm saying?
The video, where was it shot? For Fuji Land.
It was shot in Jamaica,
Wow.
Port Antonio, Jamaica.
Whose idea was that to get there?
I was,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Do you like Jamaica? You been there before?
I like Jamaica. It's a very cool, you know, wonderful island. You know, the people, you know, it's not like, well, I don't know how it is in Europe, but America is very materialistic. You know, you gotta have the Mercedes Benz or the Porsche. You gotta have, you know, Versace wear or you know, name brand. But in the islands, they live just for the fact that they have each other. They survive. You know, as long as they can eat, have somewhere to sleep, that's all they really need. You know, and all day they just either work on the farm or listen to music, and they get inspiration from that. So it's not like America or Europe, I guess.
You learn from that?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, we people take a lot of things for granted. These people don't have what we have, but they still survive and they still happy. You got people who got millions of dollars and never know what happiness is.
Aren't you afraid that you're gonna spend your money like MC Hammer did? He's totally broke now.
No.
Because there are a lot of famous, well, you say that, people who did that.
Yeah, see, you know, big.
You guys smarter than that?
Well, I mean, I grew up with money, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like, it's not like, boom, I ran into money and now I don't know what to do with myself, you know? It's like, money is secondary to me, you know? First thing for me is my health, my family, and, you know, myself. Money is all vanity, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, you know, a lot of artists get a lot of money, they're not used to that, so they go and buy big cars. You don't need a $400,000 car, you know. If that car can't fly you from here to Europe, then you don't need that car. I don't see why you're going to spend all that money on the car, you know. And plus, Fuji's not about that, man. You know, like, our first money we took, you see what we did, we put it in the studio, and now they gave us the album that we have now, you know what I'm saying? So I could have took that money and go buy a house with it or go buy a car. But, you know, we put it back in the studio, so that's what the important is for us, is ourselves first, not, you know, all that other materialistic thing.
That's true. What do you think of Spearhead, by the way, music? Michael Frankie.
He
Got your fight going on?
a fight.
Like your fight going on?
He got his own vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know, but in the hip hop community, he's not really, you know, known or established or respected. You know, he's not considered like hip hop. But I mean, he got his own vibe going on. You know, I happen to know Michael myself too, so
Wow.
it's cool with him. He a cool brother.
I'll let you rest now. Thanks a lot.
Yo, thanks a lot, man. You know, big up to all the people, the fans, for supporting the Fugees. You know, thanks a lot.
Thanks, man. You'll meet one more thing. Did you meet Lee Perry? Because he'll be here tonight as well.
Who's Lee Perry?
Scratch Lee Perry.
He a DJ?
Yeah.
Think so. I met so many people. You know,
You don't know.
I have to see their face. You know, I'm good with faces, not really names.
I get you. Thanks a lot.
All right, cool.